Final weekend to talk NFL joint practices and preseason before we get into the games that actually mean something. But if you're wagering on these games, they always mean something. And I know a lot of you guys, payday, looking for some action, always wager responsibly. But if you do wager, I'm going to break down a couple games for you. My name is David Delano with picksandparlays.net. Powered by Wager Talk, and we're going to go ahead and talk about a Texas combo here. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to back both Texas teams. We're going to take a look here at the Houston Texans going up against the Carolina Panthers. You see the Texans here are a favorite as they're trying to win their first preseason game. We got another low total, 35.5. We had a low total yesterday. We went over and took a lean on the Browns, a team that was winless in the preseason. They got it done. Second game we're going to take a look at. This team's not winless. The Dallas Cowboys looking to win the preseason championship. I understand, guys. There's really no preseason championship. Okay, I just said that. Someone out there is going to think I'm serious. But the Cowboys with the shot to go 3-0 in the preseason. You see the lines there on the money line. Got Dallas as a 2.5-point favorite. Total of 38.5. Pretty high total in this one. So we're going to go ahead and break down both of these games for you guys. So we got Houston here laying 1.5 on the road. Total sitting around 36 at 35.5. And everybody's going to be looking at the Houston defense and think that this, well, not everybody, but a lot of people may be looking at the Houston defense and think that this is going to be a Texans blowout, especially with Houston looking to get a preseason win. And I get it. Now, if you want to talk about the joint practices, which I'm going to get to as far as the things that I heard there, but in this preseason, the Texans starters have been very, very solid. They outscored their opponents early on in games. We saw that game against the Raiders where we were on the Raiders, and it looked ugly for a lot of the game until the Raiders came back in the fourth quarter. Now, the joint practices were very, very ugly. If you're on the Carolina side, reportedly that Bryce Young was sacked multiple times, threw a couple picks. Carolina's offensive line got just completely manhandled. Heard it was really, really ugly, and that the Texans just really challenged the manhood of the Carolina Panthers. But here's the thing. None of that matters this Friday because both coaches are resting their starters. This is a backups game from the first play to the last play. And when you flip to the backups, the story flips too as Houston starters have looked good this preseason. They've looked really good in the joint practice. But Houston has gotten outscored 36-0 in the second half of this preseason. And even in Carolina on the other side, their starters have struggled. Just one first quarter touchdown so far in the preseason, but their backups have put up 74 points after the first quarter. That's not obviously they had an extra game, but that is not just a fluke. So Carolina, the backups have been better. Houston, things have fallen off when the backups have been in there. Carolina's defense, still, even with the backups, though, the defense has not been extremely strong. They've allowed 63 points after the first quarter. So I'm expecting points in this one. And I talked about it yesterday with the game with the Browns and the Patriots. You had a little total because you're thinking, okay, the starting quarterbacks aren't playing, but you also have not the strongest defensive players in there, and you don't really have the intensity as far as the game mattering. I know it matters to guys who are trying to make the team, but this is a low total with all those things considered. Over is a 4-1 combined between these two teams in the preseason. Now, there's a chance that we could get some weather concerns in Charlotte, some rain. But I'm not going to overly think about that or worry about that. This is the preseason. There's always one thing about the NFL. There's always going to be a side once we get into the regular season. NFL is just a different beast. You're going to be able to talk yourself on a play or off of a play there's going to be opinions on both sides throughout the entire season. But for me, I like the over. Texans at Panthers. Wager responsibly. Nothing crazy here. But I do like the over in the game between the Texans and the Panthers. And yeah, this is side. I'm just going to stay away from the side in this one. I'm going to stay away from the side. We're going to go over in the game between the Texans and the Panthers. All right, let's go ahead and get into this next game, which is, Saints passionate fan base. Haven't won a game yet in the preseason. Cowboys, you know how they do in Dallas and really all over the world. So Cowboys here favored by 2.5. We got a total here of 38.5. And this one's, Dallas has a real second string quarterback battle going on between Joe Milton and Sam Howell. They've been going shot for shot all summer long. They both have looked impressive. And as a result, the Dallas Cowboys are 2-0 heading into this game. New Orleans, on the other hand, they've basically shown nothing beyond joint practices. Kellen Moore hasn't played his starters a single snap of real preseason action, and they're walking in off of a 34-0 just embarrassment against Indianapolis. But it's preseason. They don't really seem to care. But the way that I'm going to look at this game overall, I do think that the New Orleans is going to want to protect their quarterbacks, keep them clean. And I don't expect to see much out of the New Orleans Saints offensively. The Dallas Cowboys, they're playing well. And at home here, I think that the Dallas Cowboys are they're gonna want to get a win. They're gonna want to get a win with the guys who are out there. I like the Dallas Cowboys in this game. I really hate taking favorites in the preseason overall, but I just cannot find any reason to back the Saints here. I know that I mentioned yesterday, with the Browns, but a different situation here with the New Orleans Saints. So the play for me in this game is going to be on the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to go ahead and lay the -2.5 here with the Dallas Cowboys. Not the longest breakdown, but just don't think that is needed. New Orleans not showing much at all. And I also like the over in the game between the Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and lock in all season long, check out picksandparlays.net. I know that this channel is on his Wager Talk channel, and my videos will be here, so subscribe to that. Definitely much appreciated. But the plays for myself, if you're wondering, I've got a 4% Saturday best bet to start off the college football season. Just one premium for me right now to start off the college football season, but a couple free picks that are going to be dropped. We're going to be talking New Mexico State and Florida State. Also going to be talking about Eastern Michigan and now MAC member Sacramento State. Subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and check out that video. Would appreciate it, along with the Major League Baseball videos each day, and a 5% play for Friday, September 4th, up there over on picksandparlays.net. My name is David Delano. Check out at Get Sports Strong on Instagram and X. Let me know in the comments what you guys like. If you want to play either of these preseason games, do you agree? Do you disagree with the picks? All comments are welcome. Always wager responsibly. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. A lot of people are going to try to double up that check today. I wouldn't recommend doing it on preseason football unless you have the bankroll for it. Maybe your paycheck is just, maybe it's just your drinking money. Everybody's situation is different, and don't worry about what the next guy's doing. Whether you bet, 10 grand a game, or whether you bet 20 grand a game, man, or $10 a game, or $1 a game, man. Don't worry about what the next man's doing, man. Don't worry about it. But focus on a good game plan for yourself. All right, done getting off my podium. We'll see you later.